สวัสดีครับ Good morning and thank you for joining us on Newsline. We're broadcasting live on NBT Radio Thailand FM 88 and NBT World. It's Thursday, March 17th and you're with me สุรพันธ์เหล่าธารณาริศ Welcome to today's segment of Thailand Moves Forward. In our first story, the government has pledged to further develop the country's transport infrastructure network. General Prayut Chan-o-cha, the Prime Minister and the Chief of the National Council for Peace and Order, chaired the official opening of the second Thai Rail Industry Symposium and Exhibition, during which he stressed that Thailand is in need of comprehensive development for all modes of transportation. The Prime Minister said that rail, land, marine, and air transport systems must become interconnected, and all agencies are to implement an integrated operational plan while making the most of the allocated budget. He added that the current government is planning to add more than 3,000 kilometers of railway tracks by the year 2022. Thailand's railway tracks currently run for a combined distance of some 4,000 kilometers. The Prime Minister went on to say that Thailand is to have a clear investment plan with a focus on research and development, which will be conducted under the cooperation between the public and private sectors to meet the country's needs. The Prime Minister is scheduled to pay an official visit to the northeastern province of Udon Thani this Friday to assess the drought situation and discuss local economic problems. Assistant Government Spokesman Colonel Atisit Chainuwat made known that during the Udon Thani visit this March 18th, Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha will travel to Pen District in the morning to hand out land use permits to local residents, as well as certificates verifying their participation in the Community Forest Project. He will then tour an exhibition on sustainable management and development of local communities. The Premier will also unveil a new groundwater well with a capacity of 12 million cubic meters at a local school. Then he is scheduled to inspect the construction of sluice gates on the Nong Mak Canal, which is being carried out in line with the sufficiency economy philosophy and the civil state policy. The Deputy Prime Minister for Legal Affairs has affirmed that the proposals submitted by the National Council for Peace and Order, or NCPO, to the Constitution Drafting Commission, or CDC, are not an attempted coercion. Deputy Prime Minister Wisanu Krungam said that the proposals were derived from the resolutions of a meeting between the NCPO, the National Legislative Assembly, the National Reform Steering Assembly, and the Cabinet, which are collectively referred to as the Four Rivers. He added that the proposals should be viewed as a notification, not an act of coercion. Dr. Wisanu said that the submitted proposals, which included rationales and explanations, should also be regarded as a signal for all 21 members of the CDC to consider the Four Rivers' concerns over the political situation in Thailand from now until the day that the general elections take place. He said that it will ultimately be up to the charter drafters to decide if they'll include the proposals in the final draft. The Deputy Premier went on to say that the proposal for 250 appointed senators who will include the Permanent Secretary for Defense and all 6 armed forces leaders was intended to help maintain national security and order in society. Dr. Wisanu denied that it was an effort to interfere with the operations of the legislative branch. Deputy Prime Minister Somkit Jatusipitak has instructed the Export-Import Bank of Thailand, or Exim Bank, to work proactively to assist exporters. Dr. Somkit and Finance Minister Apisak Tantiwarawong yesterday inspected the operations of Exim Bank and attended a meeting with the bank's executives. The Deputy Premier told the Exim Bank Managing Director to work more proactively by urgently producing new entrepreneurs with growth potential in the export sector. The bank should also support Thai exporters to expand their business abroad, especially in Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, and Vietnam, or the CLMV. Exim Bank Chairman Manat Jamweha said the bank would submit its 3 to 5 year plan to assist Thai exporters to the Ministry of Finance within the next few weeks for consideration. He revealed that representative offices would be set up to provide consultancy and information for businessmen who wanted to invest in foreign countries. Exim Bank plans to extend 35 billion baht in loans this year. More than half of the budget, at 16 billion baht, will be allocated to large exporters, and the rest for small and medium-sized ones. The bank's total loan guarantee amount is set at 65 billion baht, an increase from 60 billion baht last year. The bank also expects credit to expand by 3 to 4% and enjoy 1.2 billion baht in profit, with a non-performing loan rate of 6.52%. The Ministry of Agriculture and Cooperatives is planning to draw water from debt storage to mitigate the drought, although the current amount of water in reservoirs is expected to last through the dry season. Agriculture and Cooperatives Minister General Chatchai Sarikanya reported on the drought situation in the Northeast. He revealed that Lamtakong Dam in Nakhon Ratchasima Province currently has 75 million cubic meters of usable water in storage, while Ubonrat Dam in Khon Kaen Province only has 33 million cubic meters left. Given the severity of the situation, the minister said a contingency plan has been drawn up to allow the use of debt storage as an additional source of water for drought-affected communities. However, judging from the current rate of water consumption, he voiced confidence that water reserves will be sufficient for public usage well into July. Meanwhile, in Krathumban district of Samut Sakhon province, a number of orchid farms are suffering from water shortages. Related agencies, including the Royal Irrigation Department and the Department of Disaster Prevention and Mitigation, are urgently sending water supplies to the farms. Nearly 4 million cubic meters of water has to be pumped from the Meklong River each day. Thai delegates, including officials from the Command Center to Combat Illegal Fishing, or CCCIF, last week attended the Seafood Expo North America 2016, which took place in Boston, USA. Here to talk about Thailand's participation in the event is Commander Piyanan Gyalmani, who is a Plan and Policy Officer at the CCCIF. Sawadee krap, Commander Piyanan.
Sawadee krap, Suranan.
How are you doing this morning?
Very well.
So first, could you tell us about the purpose and the outcomes of the expo, and also how have Thailand's efforts in the fight against illegal fishing and human trafficking been perceived among U.S. consumers and businesses?
Yeah. The first thing first, the CCCIF, the center sent a team of senior officials from the center itself, from the Department of Fishery, Royal Thai Police, and Ministry of Labor, led by Admiral Ponade Charanpoon, Senior Advisor of Royal Thai Navy, to Seafood Expo North America 2016 in Boston during the 6th to 8th of March last week. The purpose of the visit and joining the expo is to make understanding to the U.S. Business importer as well as the consumer of the Thai efforts in fight against the illegal fishing and human trafficking. There are a lot of misperceptions among the consumer as well as the importer of seafood products from Thailand that we haven't done anything or we done too less to fight against human trafficking. On the 5th of March, we've been invited to join the Seafood Strategic Committee run by Food Marketing Institute. This major importer of U.S. Seafood. And on the 7th of March, we host a seminar on the topic of moving forward with sustainability, the latest update on seafood supply chain reform in Thailand, and the outcome of these two events that we organize and we've been joining. We know that the consumer as well as the U.S. business welcome and recognize that Thai government took this matter seriously by sending senior official delegates to make understanding in the U.S. And the U.S. importer as well as the retailers are very much confident in quality of Thai products. However, the driven factors are the confidence of the consumer and the buyer. These latter groups are needed to receive a clear and correct message from Thai authorities. And I think what we've done so far achieved that already.
Okay. So now please tell us about the CCCIF's strategic approach to ensure correct understanding among the international community regarding Thailand's efforts to stamp out illegal fishing.
Yes, it's a lesson learned. We've been joining the Seafood Expo twice already. At the end of February, the February just passed, we've been sent a team to Malta, joining the Seafood Expo, and now we just came back from Boston, the Seafood Expo North America, which is the biggest seafood expo in the world. So we found that this kind of event is a good place to put a correct understanding on the Thai effort against illegal fishing as well as human trafficking. So with the guidance from the Deputy Prime Minister, we will send and approach this with the strong message that the process in Thailand is comprehensive and irreversible. And we will send a team again to Brussels Seafood Expo at the end of this month to make understanding with the European market. And that is our effort right now.
Okay. So that would be all for today. Commander Piyanan, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much, Kun Suranan.
Thank you. Sawadee krap. Well, the two officers from Brunei Darussalam's Information Department, Mr. Wan Muhammad Saran Wan Ahmadi and Mr. Muhammad Raini bin Haji Durrani, are continuing their visit to Thailand. On the second day of their visit, they observed the Bang Luang Mosque and the Klong Padung Krung Kasem floating market. The self-sustained mosque is known for being the only Thai-style mosque in the world. According to the imam stationing there, the 234-year-old mosque is the center of the Thonburi community. He added that the area had been living in harmony for hundreds of years, despite its population being a mixture of Christians, Buddhists, and Muslims. The officers then visited an innovation fair at the Klong Padung Krung Kasem floating market in the afternoon, where they were welcomed by Department of Mineral Fuel Deputy Director General Suriyan Apiraksatayakun and advisor to the Prime Minister on Social Affairs, Sujin Petnian. The market event is currently being hosted by the Ministry of Energy. Vendors offer discounted electronic appliances, food, cosmetics, and souvenirs made with alternative energy. It also features commercial products from energy-related innovations. The two Bruneian officers were impressed with the Thai government's Klong Padung Krung Kasem campaign, which helps locals generate income by providing them with a venue to distribute their products.
I think the Thailand government set up this kind of event is very good for the entrepreneurs in Thailand. So the small SMEs can promote their product and then they can sell their product to overseas, and also they can make more interesting from other people. and also what I saw here, there are a lot of experiment doing by the local university. The more project by the students, so the student can also promote their product here and can patent their own product and sell their own product with this kind of event. Okay.
Both officers are scheduled to visit the Damneun Saduak floating market in Ratchaburi province today before stopping by the Thai Human Imagery Museum, a wax museum in Bangkok, on the same day. They will return to Brunei in the evening of Friday. And that's the end of today's edition of Thailand Moves Forward. Up next in ASEAN News, we turn to Cebu in the Philippines for the 13th conference of the ASEAN ministers responsible for information. But first, let's have a look at the exchange rates and commodity prices.
ASEAN Economic Community, having the same hopes and mutual intentions to create sustainable growth and permanent economic progress within the framework of the ASEAN Comprehensive Investment Agreement. The ACIA exists to facilitate trade and commerce between member nations, as well as to improve quality of people's lives. One vision, one identity, one community.
Pad Thai. Created from Thai wisdom, used to be served on banana leaf, and the banana tree is used for practicing Muay Thai. Muay Thai was trained in the temples, which can be found on the mountains, in the caves, or on the water, everywhere, just like Pad Thai. There are thousands of other stories to discover. Discover your amazing stories in amazing Thailand.
Welcome back to Newsline. Ministers from ASEAN member states have attended the information conference along with the 3 ASEAN partner nations, engaging in discussions on communication and media cooperation. The 13th conference of the ASEAN ministers responsible for information, or AMRI, taking place in Cebu of the Philippines, is the setting of a special session on ministers responsible for information in ASEAN and the +3 countries, namely China, Japan, and South Korea. The ASEAN +3 countries act as dialogue partners to the 10 ASEAN member countries. During the ASEAN +3 conference, nations made statements in support of the development of media and information within ASEAN, while national delegates discussed additional support measures. ASEAN already has existing agreements with the +3 partners. The ASEAN-China Work Plan on Enhancing Cooperation through Media and Information 2015 to 2017 involves the exchange of officials on media and information and the promotion of film and television. A roundtable meeting between producers in ASEAN and China is set to take place during September 2016 in China's Guangxi-Zhuang Autonomous Region. Public Relations Department Deputy Director General Jarun Chaisorn also took part in the event. Financial Times and Kasikorn Bank co-organized the AEC +3 Business Forum 2016, reshaping a new paradigm for growth at Plaza Athene Hotel in Bangkok. K-Bank Chairman Bantoon Lamsam said the forum aims to bring together some of the region's most successful leaders to share their views on reshaping and transforming business models and practices in order to compete in today's fast-changing environment, as well as to provide new approaches to developing effective strategies for business expansions in the region.
And now it is. Event today is to be able to bring together the major participants in the economic system from the private sector side, that being the various business enterprises, represented by the many Chamber of Commerce from the countries around the area, including China, Japan, and South Korea.
The event will feature speakers sharing their insights into strategies for growth in AEC +3 countries, business matching among trusted partners, the signing ceremony for the MOU AEC +3 regional collaboration among the chambers of commerce of the member countries, and a seminar entitled Movers and Shakers, Embracing Innovation to Drive Corporate Growth. The seminar will explore how firms are responding to increased competition from fast-moving startups to disruptive new market entrants.
We have put a lot of resources internally, developing the business and making sure that we make optimum use of all the digital capabilities we have to improve the performance of our plants. In ASEAN and Thailand specifically, there's a lot of opportunities in power, in healthcare, in aviation, and across all the activities. We want to be local, so we have a lot of people in the country, and we really want to grow our presence in the country.
Economic Community, or AEC, promising freer flows of goods, services, skilled labor, and capital between member states. This year, the ASEAN +3 cooperation has been established to strengthen political and economic ties between ASEAN countries and China, Japan, and South Korea, leading to greater connectivity between these nations and positive steps towards creating an open and fair regional trade and investment environment. And on the global front, U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry spoke to his Russian counterpart ahead of his upcoming trip to Moscow, a call expected to touch on the 5-year-old conflict in Syria and the cessation of hostilities over there. Kerry told reporters that he would visit Moscow next week for meetings with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov and President Vladimir Putin. The State Department also said that it is aware of reports that Moscow has withdrawn some of its military forces from Syria and that there had been a reduction in violence during the same period. Deputy State Department spokesperson Mark Toner said that if these reports are accurate, such efforts would be useful to the efforts to end the conflict. Responding to questions about reports that Syrian Kurds are preparing to announce a federal system in northern Syria, Toner said Washington would not recognize any self-ruled semi-autonomous zones in Syria. And that's a wrap for today's edition of Newsline. For any comments or suggestions, please feel free to email them to us at newsline.nbt@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook or visit our website at thainews.prd.go.th/en. And for now, we're going to say goodbye with footage of 2 Bengal white tiger cubs recently born in Huachipa Zoo in Peru. I'm Surabhalal Tharanarit. Thank you for joining us and have a great day. สวัสดีครับ